There is a reason why all of us are alive today, and we may not see that right now, and we may not fully believe that right now because life in this world is so confusing and exhausting, to be honest. Like, are you ever just so tired? Do you ever just want to sit down and not have someone ask you to do something, or feel like you haven't answered someone? Or do you ever just want to be almost off the hook? I feel like I get this way, and I may just naturally be an anxious person, but I'm always feeling like people are needing things from me, and I have to do a certain thing or just measure up to be good enough to be loved. And it really is emotionally taxing. I get emotionally overwhelmed pretty easily, and it used to be a lot worse before I knew the truth, right, of why we're here and what we're supposed to do. And I think for a long time I measured my success with how much I brought to the table. So, how much I was complimented and encouraged and validated and assured in my worth from other people. And this made me a chronic people pleaser. I just wanted to keep the peace. I just wanted everyone around me to be happy at all times. And it wasn't until I got older and kind of had to make a lot of mistakes to realize that it wasn't my responsibility to keep people happy, to bring people joy and satisfaction in their life. And that really takes a lot of pressure off of the individual, and I hope that that can take some pressure off of you if you are young. Maybe even if you're old, I don't know. I think this is kind of something that maybe isn't closely a factor to your age. I think that with age comes experience and comes failure, and bringing that failure lets you know that people survive, people are okay, regardless if you are measuring up to their idea of success, or their idea of who you are, or their idea of who they need you to be in their life. And once you realize that you are acceptable exactly the way you are, it kind of frees you to show up as yourself and to ultimately make people happy through this purpose and through stepping out in action and knowing your worth, instead of having your worth being determinate on what you're bringing to the table and all of these external things like a measuring stick. What is the measuring stick of approval and self-satisfaction? I think if it is found in the things that we are often taught in this world that it's found, right? Like the way your house looks, or the way your body looks, or what job you have, or what relationship you have, or just if you're a kind person, are you giving, are you loving? Those things can always run dry, and they can always be a little bit vapid and empty at the end of the day. I want you to know that you can show up here and you can be loved exactly with your brokenness and exactly where you are with grief right now, and exactly how you are and who you are with your past traumas, knowing that you, with all of your brokenness, are deserving of love. You, with all of your brokenness, are deserving of a happy and healthy relationship. You, exactly where you are today. Loving who that is the first step in getting to where you think you want to be. And there's a reason why we have goals and aspirations and desires for our life. If you're anything like me, you're very visual, imaginative person, so you can almost imagine your life looking a certain way. You can imagine your future apartment or house looking a certain way, wearing specific clothes, eating a certain way, being around a certain friend group. And all of these are dreams that were put on your heart for a reason. We were made as imaginary beings, very creative beings. And this is all on our heart because our hearts see and they reflect an image of our future selves that is valued, because we are all valuable, and we are valuable with our pain. We are valuable with our past and current mistakes. We are valuable with our addictions. We are valuable with our mental health issues. We are worthy. If anything, it strengthens us. I've heard it being talked about as the spine or the thorn in your side. This is what is used to strengthen you. This is what is used as part of your story, that you will be able to look back one day and tell this story about how you overcame absolute adversity when it didn't look like it was possible for you, when all the cards were against you, and you still fought. Because you're a fighter. And the world needs to know that, because there's someone else, your neighbor, who's going through the exact same thing on the other side of the world, who didn't have a voice to tell them that they were going to be okay. But I promise you right now, you are going to be okay. It's foggy, it's unclear. You're going through the eye of the storm, and sometimes when you're in the eye of the storm, you can't even see the storm that's surrounding you. You can't even see when you're in the eye of a hurricane or the eye of a tornado that you are so close to death and destruction. But guess what? You're alive. You're alive. You were given one more day to fight back. And I believe you will. I believe you will overcome this adversity. And when you are on the other side, you will look back and say, wow, I am so strong. I am stronger than when I entered this challenge. And I know that anything that this world puts in front of me, or any obstacle or any pain that I face, I will be able to overcome it, because I overcame challenges that I should not have overcome. I promise you, friend, you have a future that is written out. Now, as you step into this future, you may still be in the storm. And this can also come with some things that you have to work through. You have to work through to set them aside, to ultimately know your worth and to step into that. This could be a relationship, so I want you to look at how you're treating yourself. Let's start there. Let's start with a relationship with ourselves. And let's start with a relationship with the people who are around us and how they treat themselves, how they treat each other, and this will be a huge reflection on how you are treating yourself. Other people around you, the closest 5 people around you, they set the standard. If you are hanging out with people who are addicted to drugs, who are mentally ill, who are having all of these issues in toxic, abusive relationships, who are not treating their body with respect, who are saying harmful things about themselves and others, you should not be surprised if you are feeling the exact same way about yourself. You should not be surprised if you are caught up in the same bad habits and same cycles that are just holding you where you are. We are the byproduct of our environment, of our community. Sometimes that means we have to be alone for a while, and that's okay. I believe that everyone, if they have the means to, should live not with a significant other or family member for some time of their life before deciding to enter a relationship, before starting a family, before doing all of these things. I believe it is important, and it's okay. You can have roommates. You don't have to live fully alone, but live with people that you don't know very well, or live fully alone for some time. when you live with people who you don't know very well. You gain a level of independence and you're able to really sit in some solitude, sit in some silence, and create community. And this takes time, and this takes effort and knowing what you want your life to be like. So get down on a table. You don't get down all the way. Sit at a table and write down all these dreams and visions that you always had for your life. Get clear about what you want. And every single person that you meet and you decide whether you want them in your life or not, ask yourself, does this person live in alignment with how I want to treat myself and how I want to treat my body and how I see my future self living and thriving on this planet Earth, making a difference? The second thing I want you to do is start serving somewhere in your community. I don't care where it is. Make friends with people who have a little bit less than you. Go over there and you lend a hand. You wash their car. You drive them to school. You pick up lunch for them. You offer just little assistance where you have time. And seeing people who don't even have the bare minimum to survive can really get yourself out of a lack mindset. And a lack mindset is seeing all that you don't have instead of seeing all of the beautiful blessings that are around you that you can work with to create your dream life. And your dream life could be a mindset. It could be literally a mentality. It could be freedom from addiction and freedom from mental health. And I believe all of these things are possible for you. Also, freedom from poverty and from just financial strains over your life, freedom from sickness. All of these things are possible. You just have to believe that they are, and also then take steps to make it possible in your life. And your steps are going to have a big thing to do with your mindset, and changing your mindset starts with changing who you're around. Changing your mindset can also be affected by seeing how much you do have, and by serving the community and serving people who don't have the bare minimum, you can really start to get grateful for what you do have and work with that. Look at your life like a piece of fruit, like a lemon. You can either let that lemon rot on the counter, or you can get up, slice it in half, juice it, mix it with some honey and with some water, a little bit of Celtic sea salt, and make a delicious lemonade that can feed a bunch of people. I think that you are worth so much, and maybe there are some things clouding your judgment right now, and that's perfectly valid. I just want you to know that you can show up exactly how you are today with all of your brokenness and emptiness, and you can still be loved. You can still take a step forward in kindness towards yourself and towards others around you. There is a plan for your life, plans to prosper, plans for a future. All you have to do is take the first step and believe that you are worthy for that. It's getting late. I'm going to focus on the road, but I just wanted to get this message out there. I love you guys. God bless you. Goodbye.